Sport Bar TV.
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. Welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could.
Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you're watching your favourite sports, like football,
swimming, basketball,
netball
and athletics,
you'll see this logo.
it's all about coming together to have a positive influence on our drinking culture.
We're strong enough to say enough.
and you can be too.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.
Tui's New presents turning a father-in-law into a mate. Start with a workout at his gym. Prove you can be relied on. Show him you're a man. And what's even better,
Boost.
if you go through something together.
Mate.
Tui's New, supporting mateship.
Welcome to Kurri Sports Ground. Beautiful Saturday afternoon, and we're here for one of the great derbies in world sport. I think it's fair to say you can keep your old firm derbies and your Ashes and State of Origin. This is up there with all of them. It's Kurri versus Cessnock, and with me to take you through it is Nick Hornby-Howell on secondment from NBN Tamworth. Nick, very good to have you with us. What do you think is going to happen today?
Oh, thanks, Morgan. It's great to be here. Can I just say that, I think this is a game that, Newcastle Rugby League in general looks forward to. I think, we can expect a good, tight encounter, no matter how each team is doing on the ladder. That just form gets thrown out the window for this game.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's a day marked in the calendar at the start of the season, and yes, you're absolutely right. Kurri have been low on the table plenty of times in the past and come up with something against Cessnock. That's generally how it goes. We're almost ready for kick-off here. We've got the Guards of Honour ready to go, but we might go through the teams while we've got a moment. We'll start with, if you could go through the Kurri side.
At fullback, we've got Bradley Manton. We've got a change on the wing. Lachlan Hill comes in for Tim Bennett. In the centres, we've got Scott Dunn and Simon Craig, with Damien Walters to take to the other wing. Ryan Walker will play 5'8", with Tyrone Pearson to come in at halfback. Mick Campton and Brock Gilmore will be the props. Terrence Ciu at hooker. Ben Wyborn and Jay Stevens in the second row, with Mitch Cullen locking the scrum.
Yeah, we've got Peter Cronin. We know he's going to be on the bench, and we know Justin Peterkin's going to be on the bench. We're still waiting on a couple of numbers there. It seems like there's a bit of confusion out there on the Kurri side. But for Cessnock, the fullback's Oliver Powell. On the wings, Joe Woodbury and Brendan Williams. The centres, Jared Edwards and Sean Metcalf. The 5'8", Willie Hedder. The halfback, Liam Foran. He was man of the match last week against Lakes. The props are Dan Metcalf and Noah Easton. The hooker is Brett Stevens, scored a hat-trick last week. The second row is Alec Fatah and Reid Hugo. The lock is Brendan Halad. And the bench for Cessnock, Cal Orchard, Mark White, JC and Jaden Brown. We've got the officialdom on the way out, which means the players can't be far away. Have you got a tip for us, Nicholas?
I'm tipping today that Cessnock should have a bit too much class, but you can never discount Kurri, especially on their home ground.
Absolutely right. It's a big crowd in here today. There's plenty here. And the way I know that is because I come to Kurri a fair bit, and it's usually a lot easier to get a park than it was today. I had to walk quite a distance, so I got my exercise for the day. But we're very close up here in the cement stand of knowledge here, right on the halfway line, and everything's in readiness as the players surely couldn't be far away now. But you're absolutely right, Nick. It's one of those contests that everybody looks forward to, and a game that's always fierce. Do you reckon there's a chance of a bit of a bust-up today?
You can never discount it. I mean, the two teams, obviously pull out, as we've said already several times, they obviously pull out something extra for this game. And, that I get the feeling that these teams could lose every game, but as long as they beat their rival. They'd be happy.
Win the derby. Of course, Kurri are currently sitting last on the table after getting knocked over by Central last week. They had their first win the week before that or the fortnight before that against Maitland. But they need to win today. They don't want to start losing touch with the 5. Cessnock had a huge 32-18 win over Lakes, which gave them a great boost. They're now up to 3rd and knocked off the undefeated team. As Cessnock are running out onto the field now, as you would expect, a pretty frosty and subdued reception for them. We've got the old boys stand over there, which is almost as big as the grandstand. It's absolutely chockers. I don't know how many people are watching the game as opposed to how many are booting home winners at Rose Hill on the Sky Channel, but they'll be plenty raucous when the last few minutes come on. And here comes Kurri. Bit of a feature of the real NRL this season, Nick. I don't know if you've seen it before, but we have a bit of a face-off before the game. Everybody shakes hands. It's a bit like the under-8s, Very sportsmanlike.
Well, I think there's a lot to be said for it. I mean, I think it's good to get the two teams together before the match.
Yeah, well, it's an opportunity for a bit of friendliness or a bit of antagonism, depending on how it goes.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be a few choice words in there.
I would imagine. So here they go, a bit of a conference. The linesmen go their separate ways, and we're ready for action here. Our referee, incidentally, today is Graham Stair. Touch judges Brandon Vidler and Matt Wilson. And we're all ready to go here. Plenty of anticipation around the ground. And Willie Hedder's got the ball on the tee for the kickoff. And away we go. It was a very anemic peep of the whistle there, but we're off in the derby. And it's going to be Mick Campton bringing it back with plenty of gusto up to the 20-metre line already. And they set out to the left here as they go away to Mitch Cullen. Playing at lock forward. He's played every position in the team pretty much. He's been a fullback, 5'8", halfback, hooker. But he's in at lock today. And now that looks like the big number 10 there. Brock Gilmore bringing it forward. And getting pushed back a little bit for his trouble as well. And CUC goes away to Cullen. And Campton's going to have a second dig. Up towards the 40. And they'll work the short side here. CUC is going to kick. And taking it on the run there is Brendan Williams. He was sweeping onto the ball, took it pretty well. And he comes back and beats a couple. Cullen swinging him to ground there.
Geez, I thought that looked a bit high myself.
Yeah, it was certainly round the shoulders at best. Here's Noah Easton with the ball. He had a tremendous game last week against Lakes with runs exactly like that. Up over the halfway line, took a few with him. And they're looking right here. Here's Dan Metcalf. He's always eager for work. And here the Cessnock reserve grade team belting out the team's song over on the other side of the field there. They had a good win, 18-10 in reserve grade over Kurri. So here's Liam Foran, and they're looking right and left here, and here's Brendan Williams. And he had Woodbury outside him. They've got both wingers on the same side of the field at the moment. And I noticed that it wasn't in the program. It looks like Cal Orchard's over there on the wing, as here's Hetter, and he's going to kick towards Orchard here. But under it is Lachlan Hill, and there's a contest. Craig's lost that, and Metcalf's picked it up. They're going to say a knock-on against Kurri, and Cessnock can have another go here. But Joe Woodbury's on the wing, on the left wing. It looks like Brendan Williams might be playing fullback, and Cal Orchard's on the right wing. So just a bit of a change there for Cessnock, with Oliver Powell in the one, but not starting the game. So Kurri bring it away. Here's Lachlan Hill. What do you think of the first set each for these two teams, Nick?
I think they're just feeling each other out a bit, and I think it's very important not to make a mistake in your first set of football. So I think both teams have obviously come through that well.
Yeah, that'll be the test for Cessnock, just to keep the crowd quiet early in the game. If Kurri get a roll on, if Cessnock make a few mistakes, let Kurri get a roll on, all hell can break loose here. As here's the kick downfield on the left boot from Ryan Walker. And he sinks this one. This is a good deep kick too. And even with the shallow in goals, it's pulled up. And Williams will have to bring it back. And he met very fiercely there from Craig as well as Walker. And Cessnock were a bit bunched here, even only their second set with the ball. And that's Sean Metcalf. Well and truly big enough to do the work of a forward. And that's Orchard. He's stumbling forward there. Plenty of talk amongst the Kurri players. Joe Woodbury now coming infield to do a bit of work. They're relying on their backs a little bit here, Cessnock. The whole three-quarter line's had a run. What a ferocious hit there on Brendan Halad. And they're looking to Heta here, but they go to Foran instead. And he's going to jam this long. And it's Bradley Manton who's got it. Got past one there. And Kurri can start again. Nice, neat football so far. And that looks like the three there. Scott Dunn bringing it away. Now here's Gilmore. Cessnock not quite as vocal in defence. Here's Cullen. Now wide there, that's the 12. That's Stevens. And penalty to Kurri here. Just a bit too much work in the tackle. First penalty of the day.
With the set starting in the Goannas half, let's see if the Bulldogs can't mix it up a bit.
Yeah, it's been pretty organised but pretty steady so far. They haven't been too adventurous. But they have got the advantage of having Mitch Cullen able to turn up on both sides of the field and play the ball. I saw CUC, they're just having a very intense word to Mick Campton. So I don't know what that was all about. But here's Jay Stevens bringing it up again. He just had a run that drew the penalty, lined up to have another go. Now here's Campton. Might see what they were up to. Up the middle he goes. A bit of an inside ball. And they set out to the left. Looks like Ryan Walker's looking for the ball, but they go inside to Gilmore instead. Walker's still directing them out there. He's got Craig with him as well. But back inside to Cullen they go. And here's Gilmore again. There was a hint of a touch there. Cullen wanted 6 to go. So you see he's got them on both sides. He goes right, and here's Pearson. Pearson's going to dribble this in. It's off a boot, and Foran's going to recover this. And a bit of luck there, but a good bit of skill to knock it up to himself and catch it. And Cessnock get away with it and come up with the ball. And now they're trying to use it. And that's the 12 Reed Hugo. Offloads in their own 20 here, Cessnock. It's been a feature of the season so far in the real NRL. Plenty of teams willing to use the ball, even in their own half of the field. And that was looking like it was going to go to Metcalf, but it's Brendan Halad instead. A lot of work in the tackle there, yeah. There had to be a penalty there. Plenty of work. It was Campton involved. And you just can't do that anymore, the work in the play the ball. Any attempt to slow it down, and the referees are on it. Oh dear, Foran's just peering around the corner there. Foran's just nearly caused an accident on the back of on the road out the back because the ball went bouncing out in front of an oncoming car who had to swerve out of the way. It's always a risk parking or driving around the back of this ground when the football's on. Here's Brendan Halad. And Cessnock get the chance to build an attack here. Stevens over to Foran. Good cut-out pass. And this is Edwards. And he nearly slithered through there. Foran's keen to get on the ball. He's down the short side again. This is Williams. It's off hands. And they must have thought, Edwards must have thought he was offside there. But now they're going to play on because Edwards didn't want to pick it up. And now it's 6 to go to Cessnock. And Woodbury falls on the ball. And this will be Noah Easton. Another good charge. And they're lined up to the right. And that's the way they go with Halad. I don't think he was expecting it. Hetter's buzzing around on the right-hand side of the ruck here. They're well-placed centre field. Flat to the left, deep to the right. Here's Hetter. He's looking out the back to Williams. He's got Metcalf with him. He's also got Orchard, who's over in the corner. Good rugby league from Cessnock there. They used the ball well. They were well organised on both sides of the field. And they're over in the corner with Callum Orchard. Onto the field off the bench. Into the starting side. And he's got the first try of the game.
Yeah, it's the Goannas' first use of a block play that they seem to favour a lot in reserve grade, and it's good to see that the club seems to be focusing on a game plan for both teams.
Yeah, it was very structured, wasn't it? They had them set out, as I said in the call, different structures on both sides of the field, but they obviously had a plan of attack there, and it came up for them that time. And good finish from Orchard too. He had to get low over in the corner.
Oh, yeah, he had plenty to do. It wasn't just a simple put down.
But both sides have had a chance. Both sides have had a chance in the other side's half. One of them's come up with a try, the other one spilled it. Simple game, rugby league.
Well, I guess you've got to hang on to it, don't you?
So Willie Hedder's got this kick lined up.
What do you reckon of his chances?
Well, it's a tough kick. He's been a bit up and down this season. He took the kicking duties over from Kerrod Holland, and he has missed a few this season already. Let's see how he goes. No, that's a few postcodes away. Over to the right, so Cessnock stay at 4-0.
First try of the afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The first match of the day goes to the Cessnock winger, Carl Orchard. The conversion by Willie Huffer is nothing successful. With the score on the PRD nationwide scoreboard, Cessnock 4, Kurri gets the score.
So Kurri line up again to kick off. Are you hearing this whistle out there? It's very anemic puffs on the whistle from Graham Stair. It's very hard to hear when it gets blown.
Yeah, I think he needs to have a bit of a look at it.
I think so. I'm not sure there's a P in it.
He's blown it out.
That might be the case. Yeah, that might be it. They're off down the short side here, Cessnock. Just building up nicely. The forwards are really putting in for them. Noah Easton's made a couple of good charges. Here he goes again. Takes a few with him. He's been very hard to handle again this week already. Now Hetta. Out to Metcalf. Back to Hetta again. They're set out again over on the right here. Here's Metcalf. And away to Orchard. He'll fancy this again. He's up to Cullen. And Cullen hasn't been able to hold him. And back inside to Hetta. And they've got numbers again. And it's Hlad. And Hlad goes down under a great tackle from Terrence CUCU. There's a bit too much work in it. There's a threat of a penalty there. They go to the left again. Here's Hetta. And 4. And they've got them shot to bits if they throw the cutout. Yeah, they do. And Edwards is going to go over for the try. Jared Edwards over in the corner. And they just busted them upfield, got them going backwards and had the numbers when they went left. Simple try.
That all just looked a bit easy, didn't it?
Certainly did. You could see it coming from a long way away. They just didn't recover in defence from the bust, Kurri.
I don't know if you noticed during that set, but Curry's defensive line seemed a lot quieter than before that first try.
Yeah, that's probably true. They were very vocal in the first few minutes. But no, you're right. It was a bit quiet. And Cessnock are 8 to the good here.
First try, ladies and gentlemen, to the Cessnock side, Joel Edwards. Brings the PRD nationwide scoreboard. Cessnock 8, Kurri Bulldogs gets the score, conversion against the cover.
So Hedder's got another one lined up here. This is on what's traditionally referred to as the preferred side for the right footer. Let's see if it makes a difference. His first effort was a bit wobbly. Now Simon Craig, I don't know if you can see around the corner there, Simon Craig's in a bit of trouble here. He's needing to be helped from the field by a trainer, and he's moving very poorly. I think he'd have to improve to get up to limping. Around the back of the field, this is not good news for Kurri at all, because he's very important to them, the big centre. Here's the kick from Hetta. That's more like it. 10-0 to Cessnock early here. 12 minutes gone in the game. Simon Craig's going out the back in a pretty bad way.
That's a big loss for the Curry's edge defence there.
Well, that's one of the other things. That's right. It completely throws out whatever system they've got out there. But, yeah, he's in a bit of trouble.
Geez, his replacement seems like another big unit.
Yes, certainly is in the 16. So here goes the kick, launched downfield. And Cessnock can start again. So the 16, Luke Mercer, is on over in the centres there. There's Noah Easton, bust them open again. Luke Mercer in the 16 for Kurri. He might get some work in a minute as they go that way, but this is a very strong tackle on Brendan Hlad. And there's Alec Fatah, the captain. He takes them forward. up to the 40. There's a bit of advice there from under the bunker. Get up and get into them. Here's Brett Stevens.
He's not wrong.
No, well, as I said, it's a simple game. It's a bit easy up here, though. Here's 4, and he's put that down. So this might just be a bit of a reprieve for Kurri. They've faced a few swarms of attack here, but this will be a welcome scrum on the halfway line. So it's been the sort of game so far. You almost think Kurri need a try here just for the spirit as much as anything else. So here they come. Through the 11 there, Ben Wyborn. Here's CU. Down the short side they go. Walker. He does like to run the ball. He can be quite evasive. CU gives it away now to Wyborn again. And that's the big 10 moving it forward. Gilmore. And they're setting up for something here. Mitch Cullen's on the left. Walker's on the right. Here's Pearson. And he slows it up and then speeds it up. And Manton, not Cantor. Cantor plays for Macquarie. But the ball's gone to ground over there. Cessnock have come up with it through Jared Edwards. So the backline play just didn't quite come off for them there. Kurri. Joe Woodbury doing a bit of work here. Now Easton. And they're up and into him. Campton was getting involved there. He bounced off. Now is the kick. It's going to be Willie Header. He's gone over the fullback's head here. And Manton's going to have to chase. And he's facing a pretty strong red, black, white and yellow wall there. And they hold him pretty comfortably. I've taken a call in the Cessnock jerseys, the Vegemite omelette. Nick, I don't know what you think about that. But with this swirl of black and yellow and white, it makes it very difficult for commentators' eyes to pick up numbers.
Oh, well, I don't know about the Vegemite omelette. That doesn't sound like an omelette I want to have.
No, not necessarily. Or one you want to wear. Out they go. Damien Walters over there is taken in a good tackle. Now here's Pearson. And Gilmore. He's been doing plenty of work, Brock Gilmore. He's taken the ball up in every set. And Terrence C.C. has successfully prompted a penalty out of the referee there. He called hands and through the penalty came.
I'd like to see Kurri just complete this set. I mean, I think even if they got through to the last, I think they'd take just confidence from that.
Yeah, they have battled with that a little bit in their attack. It went on the attack. And here's Jay Stevens. So they start again. Starting a set from 35 out. 10-0 down in the derby. Early days in front of a big crowd. That's a good charge. That's more of what they want. That's Peter Cronin. And he's just onto the field and making a bit of a difference already. And I think Joe Woodbury's in a bit of... no, it's Liam Foran is in some trouble. But they're in some trouble at the other end because through they go with Ben Wyborn next to the posts. That was better from Kurri. Moved the ball well. And they've busted them open. Liam Foran is in huge trouble over on the other side of the field.
He's in big strife.
Yeah, he's down.
He's not in a good way.
No, he's copped a knock to the head, you'd imagine, because he got up and then staggered over. It's nasty when that happens. But then he's still on the ground. But a nice piece of play for the try.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, let's hope that gets the crowd into the game.
Yeah, that's right. Foran's still on the ground over there, so there's been a bit of an attrition rate already. We've had Simon Craig go off for Kurri. And Liam Foran, you'd imagine, won't be hanging around for Cessnock. He's just taking a moment here. Now up he gets. Looking a bit better on his feet, but he's heading for the sideline. And if the real NRL are as vigilant as their national counterparts when it comes to concussion tests, I'd be surprised if he comes back.
Oh, absolutely, and I guess now the pressure's on Header to take on that chief playmaking role.
Yeah, that's right. They basically have been playing one each side, so it'll be interesting to see what they do here. As Pearson gets the kick over. So Kurri back to 10-6. That's lifted the crowd a little bit. There's plenty of encouragement around the ground for them. Now the ones onto the field for Cessnock, that's Oliver Powell. He's come on to replace Foran. What that means for the setup of the team, time will tell. We've got a stoppage because of a lack of a tee.
Oh, there's a lot to be said for that.
Yeah. There we go.
Well, it looks like Powell's just gone in onto that left edge there, taking over from where Foran was.
Yep, so whether that means he's going to play halfback, be interesting to see. Anyhow, Kurri are bringing it back now. And they can try and build a bit of momentum in this game as Pearson gave that off, and Peter Cronin.
Oh, it's another powerful charge from the big man.
Absolutely. He's made a difference already since he's come on. Now here's Mitch Cullen, and he's beaten one, and he's got a bit of company as well. Couldn't get the ball away to Manton. He probably thought better of it. It might have been the right idea. And now they're going to the left, and that's a good charge as well. Suddenly they've got a little roll on, and the crowd's coming into it. That was Brock Gilmore. Now they're set out to the right, and here's Pearson. He's evasive. Look to throw the pass. And they do get the penalty, and now the crowd are involved.
And this is exactly what Cessnock do not want.
No, that's right. And it was just that all came about from moving the ball in the middle of the field, a few little passes, little tricky passes down the middle, and got Cessnock going backwards. I say the Kurri players are getting some encouragement, the ref's getting a bit as well. Now, here they go. And this is Jay Stevens. And he'll do what he does all day. Just keep taking it forward. And they're set up to the right here. And they go to Cronin. Why not? He's done so well so far. And that's a good charge again. He's a metre out. And there's a big set up to the left here. And they go out to Pearson. And Pearson goes across to Walker. And Walker's dummying. He's going himself. There might be a Shepherd there. If there's no Shepherd, he'll score. He's gone over on the left-hand side. The referee looks at the linesman, and the referee points to the spot. Well, how a game can change.
I think he's definitely gone behind his block runner there. A bit dubious.
Yeah, it did look a bit shonky, didn't it? I was surprised they didn't pull it up. He got the ball out the back, ran around the back of the, as you say, around the back of the block runner, went over to score. It was still good pace and good physical strength to barge past a couple and get over. But nonetheless, a bit of controversy. Alec Fatah's been requested to go in chambers with referee Stan now, and he's gesticulating a little bit. Don't know what sort of difference it makes.
So would you want to disallow a Kurri try at home?
What is the referee?
Yep.
Probably not. It would take a bit of bravery to knock one back, especially in a good close game like this. 18 minutes to go here in the first half, and there's already been plenty of points in the game. Cessnock 10, Kurri 10, and from being in a position of dragging their lips somewhat in the space of 2 sets of 6, plus a penalty, Kurri are back level and could hit the front. And suddenly there's a much better buzz around the ground. Pearson with the kick. Here he comes. Looks all right, looks all right. Is all right. 12-10, so Kurri, out of nowhere, have hit the front here.
The conversion, ladies and gentlemen, by Sarah Pearson has been successful. Brings the scoreline of the PRD nationwide scoreboard. Kurri Bulldog 12.
And one fellow is so enthused by it, he's decided to abuse a bin up the other end of the ground, thumping the lid up and down to make a bit of racket. That's a novel way of going about it. Made a bit more racket than kicking the fence. So Cessnock start again, and now all of a sudden they've got a problem because not only have they just let in 2 tries, but they're without their halfback. Their big acquisition from the off-season. How things can change in a couple of minutes. And that's the 14 again, Peter Cronin. And Walker gives it to Gilmore. He's keen again. It's Pearson. They're working it forward again. That's the 14, Cronin, second run in the set.
Oh, he's been very keen for work since coming on.
Absolutely. Pearson's inside the 40 here as he launches this. Not that it's going to matter, because Williams swallows it up and brings it back, but even the defensive line from Kurri is very, very straight indeed. Now here's Orchard. He takes it forward. That's a good run. He's beat a couple there. A bit of a sloppy play of the ball. Here's Metcalf. Cessnock suddenly got a bit of a roll. He's so strong, Metcalf. He just shooed Cullen away like it was a fly. It's a bit scattered here all of a sudden. Here's the other Metcalf. They're as big as each other, but one plays back row, one plays front row, one plays centre. Now here's Heta. And goes out the back. And Stevens got gobbled up there in a good tackle before he could do anything with it. That was Walters who came up and got him. And Heta's going to go up into the air here. And they're under it. Manton comes down with it.
It's a great take under pressure.
He was under a bit. They were coming for him. And he's got it. And so Kurri working it away again. I think that might have been Lachlan Hill over there. Oh no, it was Scott Dunn. Now Walters. Pearson's into dummy half. CUC playing as the first receiver, and here's Lachlan Hill. That'll be his first touch of the game, I think. And Kurri working it away. That might be a knock on. It's a penalty. And he's marched him for a bit of gob. Hello. Well, as much as it's tempting to do, I've never seen a referee change his decision.
Will play on Cessnock number 5 and Kurri number 11.
Woodbury, has he got it? No. He tried to bat it back infield. They can set up again here, Nick. Second ball on the field. It's all happening. Oh, look out.
Oh.
Hello. Pleasantries. Hey, bit of shove. Nothing too major. Come on, boys.
Oh, the visitors don't want the old boys to get involved in this.
No, they don't. And start again. And they do, and there's plenty in the tackle. And there's a lot in the tackle. They've picked him up and made about 15 metres without the ball there, Cessnock. It's not often you see the defence line move forward after a tackle. But that's exactly what happened. And now Cronin, and they stopped him that time.
Well, that's added a bit of fire to the game.
It certainly has. It's starting to warm up nicely as Kurri come forward. And they're set up to the left. Here's Walker. They're going to attack early. He goes himself. It worked last time. Why not try it on again? But Cessnock is suddenly getting a bit vicious in defence. They've been sparked into action here. See you. And the 15's on the field. That's his second touch of the ball in this set. Now here's Pearson. He's a good stepper. And he went past one. And it's still up there. Woodbury's going to try and grab it. And he will grab it eventually, but it'll be called back for a knock-on against Cessnock. And the crowd are very on side with the referee here. It's a knock-on to Cessnock. And Kurri will get the scrum. They'll be able to set up 20 metres out.
Pearson had sort of poked his nose through the defensive line there. I don't know whether he would have been better to hang on to it and get a quick play of the ball.
He certainly threatened. They had them set out to the right if he had gone down with it. He said that was a great step, though. He made the one there. Oliver Powell looked like he was, I don't know.
Not even there.
Not even there. He just ended up on the ground. It was a magical step. Very quick feet. And they feed the scrum. There's a classic scrum there. Nobody was actually packed. And away they go. Ryan Walker with the ball. He'll try it on again. And he's got a fair bit of strength. He's got a lot of strength. A power of strength. And he's got in next to the posts off the scrum. Well. The things that gyms can do for people now.
Oh, I think it's fantastic to see a 5'8" so willing to take the line on.
Absolutely. There's not as much of it anymore. Halves running the ball. And he just barged and bashed his way through there. He beat about 4 tackles. And Cessnock from 10 blot in front and cruising are now 16-10 with a kick to come down and on the wrong side of the momentum by a long way.
Ladies and gentlemen, to the Kurri 5'8", Ryan Walker.
And Ryan Walker's got 2 for today. Still 11 minutes to go in the first half, and it's 16-10. There's plenty in this game.
Walker's almost playing like a 4th back rower this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. Carting it up strongly. A bit more spring in their step as they go back to receive the kick-off. Pearson should send this one over, and it's going to be 18-10. Yep, sure enough. I was worried I'd put the mocker on him there, but he's put it over. A nice take over there behind the goalpost. 18-10.
Also, hold your ticket. I've been informed by the Cessnock administration that number 1 is to replace the tyre, so the double will pay on 11 and 1. And I do offer my apology.
Well, there's been a bit of controversy up here in the box. There was just a hole on the double. And apparently, instead of it being 11 and 1, it's 11 and 5. What a great run. And what a great... Oh, Powell's in a lot of trouble here. He's gone into the tackle. And he's come out of it again with a sore head. He's down here.
There seems to be a fair bit of concern for the Cessnock player. He looks like he's got his head in the wrong position and he's not really moving.
So Brock Harmer's done a bit of damage here. Powell's being escorted from the field.
And this will see the goannas being reduced to 2 on the bench with still 10 minutes to go in the first half.
You'd imagine so. There's no sign of... I don't think there's any sign of Liam Foran. Who's this trotting back out? No, it is Liam Foran. There you go. Well, I'm a bad judge. And he's come up and tried to make a tackle, so he must be okay. He's been deemed okay. And Kurri get on with it. Here they go. And that's a good charge. That'd be Cronin again, I'd reckon. Now here's Pearson and Walker might run it. Why not?
Oh, get up his neck!
Here's see you. And he's looking for Pearson. Now they're working down the middle. That's good play. And Manton. They're working down a very narrow channel down the centre of the field here. And here's see you away to Pearson. He's sent this one right up into the air, where Williams spills it to critical acclaim. Williams spills it. The crowd love it. Dear, oh dear. 20 metres out in front of the goalposts. Kurri can start again here. 8 minutes 40 to go.
What do you think it'll do for the game if Kurri can get over the line again here?
Well, dear, oh dear. I mean, you'd have to think if they go out to a 22-10, 24-10 lead, Cessnock are going to be in the Hall of Mirrors at half-time.
Barney Miller will be filthy.
You would imagine. Here they go. Another very dubious-looking scrum, but anyway, that's Manton over there.
The players are entitled to a break.
That's pretty much all it is now, isn't it? It's just a bit of a smoko for everybody. Here's Jay Stevens. CUCU, he's been guiding them around. Now here's Walker. He doesn't run it this time. He gives it to Cullen. And Cullen goes back to being a forward and just takes it up. And they're set up both sides here. And here's CUCU. He's snappy out of there. Out the back it goes. There's a bit of problem there with Cronin. And he bumped into Stevens, and they've allowed that to go on. And now here's CUCU and Walker.
He's been hit on suspicion.
I think he might have been. He's down and in a bit of trouble. He's just getting back to his feet now. Here's CUCU. He's quick out of there again. Little grubber through. It's gone anywhere. It's come out to Lachlan Hill, who gets to the line. There'll be a steward's inquiry here. He's called held up. He's called held up.
Well, if that's the case, that's fantastic defence from the Goannas right winger.
Absolutely. Callum Orchard, he's got underneath it. Goodness knows how, but he's called 6 to go, and he's going to give Kurri the ball back here. But the kick from CUCU came off about 6 pairs of legs by the looks, skewed out to the left, and Hill came within an inch of scoring. On such things, the game's turn. He plays the ball, and they start again with another 6 tackles, or at least it would have been if Mitch Cullen hadn't spilled it at first receiver. Now there's a stink again. Oh, hang on, this one might have a bit in it. It's Grabsies at the moment. But he did turn around in disgust and hurl the ball at his opponent, so, you know.
Oh, they've just put their purses away.
So Stair, he's sticking with the original decision, doesn't want to make anything of that. Probably the right thing. Knock on from Mitch Cullen there when they had a full set of 6. And some brows will be wiped amongst the Cessnock players and staff. And so Metcalf brings it away. That's the Metcalf that plays in the backs, Sean Metcalf. Not that you'd be able to tell. And here's Woodbury. Oh, that's a strong tackle. That's very strong defence from Kurri. There's a bit in this game now. It's starting to really bubble along nicely.
This is what we expect between these two teams.
Absolutely right. Crowds involved. Players are involved. Bit of stench. Lovely. Here's Brendan Halad. And he's taken a couple with him there. Cullen's very eager in defence. And Stevens is going to kick here and jam it into the corner. It's a good kick. It's just going to run away down there. And they're going to have to bring it back with Walters. And they're going to try and drag him back. Have they? They have. Well, what a moment for Cessnock. That's the sort of thing that can turn a game. A good kick into the corner. And it wasn't Walters, in fact. It was Scott Dunn, who's been dragged back and forced in goal.
And if the Goannas force another set of 6 here, and if they can get over the line, I think that gives them the momentum heading towards the halftime break.
Well, it's had a few twists and turns already, hasn't it? Had plenty of twists and turns. Ryan Walker's going to kick this. And he's going to aim for the touchline here. It's not a bad kick. Even though it wasn't that deep, and Edwards will bring it back. Foran's at first receiver. He seems okay. He gets it away to Mark White. And he generally does the same thing when he gets the ball. Heads straight. Here's Halad. And he beat one there. He can do that, Brendan Halad. You see it so often that he beats the first tackler. Now they're going to go right. And Heta. And he's got plenty of men out there, but one of them's dropped it. It was Reed Hugo who put it down. And Manton can bring it away for Kurri. Well, an opportunity lost there for Cessnock as Lachlan Hill comes forward. Here's Brock Harmer. He's had a few good runs already. He fell a bit there, nearly copped it across the bridge of the nose. Oh, this might be the bumper. In the 20, Justin Peterkin's on the field.
Fan favourite here at Kurri.
If he gets a head of steam up, that'll get a rise out of the crowd, don't worry. Now, CUC's put on the 40-20 here, and it's heading towards the touchline. It's going over the touchline. Well, Terrence CUCU, he's put it into touch from dummy half. It's always hard to do, but he just bent that towards the touchline, and the fullback wasn't there. And it swings back Kurri's way again.
Bit of experience there from Bump Peterkin to know to get up to for a nice quick play the ball there, allowing the dummy half to get away.
Yeah, absolutely. Hang on, what's happened here? He's given Cessnock the feed here. Well, this is sure to be controversy corner. What do we got?
Oh, they must
Oh,
have
no,
said he's-
no, never mind. It's all going to be okay. It's a tap. That's right. We don't have scrums for 40-20s anymore. We have tap kicks. And so there it is with Ben Wyborn. I thought he was signalling scrum Cessnock, but that's all right. And here's Brock Harmer coming onto this, and he charges at them. So you see he's looking right here. He's getting more involved. Walker across to Pearson. He'll love to step. He throws a possible intercept. Possible try. Damien Walters over on the right-hand side of the ground. Great quality from Tieran Pearson. He was a late inclusion today, but he's causing havoc out there. And Kurri, from 10 blot down after 20 minutes, are now 24, well, will be 22-10 in front with a kick to come 2 minutes before halftime.
Well, that's huge. Not long before the break, turning defence to attack there. You know, within a minute or so, they've got down the other end of the field and put more points on.
Yeah, heartbreaker for Cessnock. There's been a lot of twists and turns in this game, but for Terence CQC, a couple of minutes before half-time, to pull out a 40-20 and get them down there, what a huge moment for Kurri.
That's a bit of NRL experience there, isn't it?
Yeah, possibly. But he's been, as I said, he's been getting more involved. And been moving very quickly out of dummy half, getting them going backwards. Pearson's got this kick lined up. He's been flawless today with the boot. So I'd imagine there's a bit of an inquisition going on amongst the Cessnock players behind the try line. They'll be wondering how things got quite so off the plan. Plenty of chirp amongst the Kurri players again, as you'd imagine.
Hard not to be chatty when you're up.
My word. Here's Pearson with the kick. This will lift them if it goes over. It's well on the way. Oh, it's lifted them all right.
Oh, right in front of the old boys there.
There would have been about 150 blokes over there telling him how to kick. It's a wonderfully detailed pavilion over there.
Probably only 5 of them have kicked the ball before.
It's a wonderfully detailed building over there. They've got the Sky Channel on the telly. They've got their own bar, so you can just stand there all day, watch the footy, have a punt and a few beers. And
how many of them watch the footy?
Oh, well, I don't know. I've never been allowed in. Being from the dark side and having never played at any decent level, I don't qualify. Here comes Brock Harmer off the kickoff. He's been strong in this first half since he's come on. But, of course, as I say that, he spilled it. But it's a penalty to Kurri. There's 9 seconds left in the half here. They can try something on.
I'd like to see them have a go.
What, a go at goal? 80-metre kick at goal, Keith Barnes style? Or what? No, plonk it into touch. And that'll be that. Siren goes. And that went by very quickly, I've got to say. A wonderful half of footy. Kurri have come from 10-0 down to end the half at 24-10 up. And you would imagine that there will be some serious recriminations in the Cessnock dressing room at half-time as to how exactly that happened. But, Nick, your thoughts on the first half as we head to the break?
Well, it looked like it was going to be a very long afternoon there for the home side, but they've finally seen the benefits of hanging on to the football and they've been able to put on 4 tries.
Been very good attacking play. They got a roll on in the forwards and they've been willing to use it with the halves. Plenty of strength and craft and a very entertaining first half, whoever you follow. And we're going to go to a break here. We'll come back for the second half in just a few minutes.
Tui's New presents turning a father-in-law into a mate. Start with a workout at his gym. Prove you can be relied on. Show him you're a man. And what's even better,
Boost.
if you go through something together.
Mate.
Tui's New, supporting mateship.
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. Welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could.
Real guys, real sport. Bar TV.
Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you're watching your favourite sports, like football,
Swimming, basketball,
Netball,
and athletics.
you'll see this logo.
it's all about coming together to have a positive influence on our drinking culture.
We're strong enough to say enough.
And you can be too.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.
Well, welcome back to Kurri Sports Ground. Very busy first half here. We've seen Kurri take a 24-10 lead after being 10-0 down. And Nick Hornby-Howe's with me for this day on, as I said before, on secondment from NBN Tamworth. Nick, what have Cessnock got to do if they're going to get back and come back and win this game?
I think it's pretty plain and simple. They've got to hang on to the football, as we've seen in the first half, and as we've said during the call. I mean, rugby league's a simple game, and this game's been no different. Whoever's hung on to the football has scored points.
Yep, it's a simple game. Kurri have got the ball on the tee. I think this might be Ryan Walker taking the kick-off, and away we go for the second half of the derby. And Mark White's going to bring it back. We had a very entertaining first half. We had 2 games of junior league on. Everyone wearing the same jumpers from both sides on 2 different fields. It was chaos. But Kurri defeated Kurri pretty handsomely in both games. And so forward comes Cessnock with Brendan Halad. This first set of the second half, very important. There's been a couple of times this year where they've been staring down a deficit and started the second half pretty slowly. But this is a big few minutes for them here. Here's Mark White again. And he's beaten one. And Hetter's in position for the kick, but they go to Foran just to mug me off. And down goes the kick. And they're willing to use the ball early here. This is Manton, who hasn't seen a lot of it, but when he has, he's looked pretty dangerous. And Brock Harmer will take this up. That's a strong charge. And Lachlan Hill now. Plenty of sting in the runs and in the tackles. The game's become more intense as it's gone on. Here's the bumper. And he bumps his way up.
Poked his nose through there. That's what we like to see from the front row forwards.
Mm-hmm. So you see his grass there and a good tackle around the legs. And Kurri are going to be able to kick with Cullen here. He sends this one downfield. And Woodbury's back to retrieve it. And back comes Woodbury. Oh, that was a bit high, was it? Yes, referee agrees. Woodbury, he's all right, but bit of a coat hanger there. You see it often, the speedy back with the forward throwing the arm out. Easy enough to do. Typically here at Kurri, you see as the ball just went over the fence there, there's more people standing at ground level under the grandstand than actually sitting in it, which is mostly because of the sun which beams into the grandstand. It's Cessnock working away now with Hlad. And he threw CUC away. They've been at each other in this game. There's been a few times they've come up against each other and there's been a bit of spite in it each time. Now here's Foran. Out the back they go. Williams, and he's got past one. And he wriggled his way forward there. They're 20 out. Edwards, Foran, White. Centrefield, well poised here, Cessnock. Here's Foran and Hatter and Metcalf. And Metcalf and Metcalf.
Oh, geez, that was poor defence there.
Well, poor defence, but a good trampling run from the number 8. And Dan Metcalf's gone over. That's gone down like a lead balloon around here. You don't have to rise with the crowd when you're calling a Cessnock try at Kurri. You can just maintain the same volume. But they've gone over. It's 24-14 with the kick to come here. 3.5 minutes into the second half. But you said it, Nick, pretty poor defence.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you've got to get up and make your one-on-one tackles, especially when you've got, a big unit running at you from just 10 metres out.
Yeah, they've defended pretty stoutly in the second part of the first half and since then, but it was a pretty soft one. That can just change the tone of the game. There's a bit of to and fro over here on this side of the ground. This is where most of the experts sit. This is the expert side of the ground over here, where most of the comments come from.
Oh, there's always plenty of those. You know, blokes that were the leading try scorers in the under-7s 20 years ago.
Here's Willie Header with the kick. Getting encouragement in a way from that side of the ground. He's put it over. Well, it hasn't made them any quieter, but it's probably not what they wanted to happen. 24-16 here, 4.5 minutes into the second half. And there's still plenty in this game. So Ryan Walker's got the ball ready. For the second time in 5 minutes, he's ready to kick off. Oh, that's a charge from Mark White. He would have run straight through them there if he could have. He didn't care how big they were, just ran straight at them and tried to bust them open. That was a great charge. Now here's Alec Fatah. Stevens in a dummy half. Hatter. And that looks like Halad.
He's got a bit of late footwork at the line, doesn't he?
He does. He beats the first tackler so often. Here's Metcalf. He's not the bulkiest bloke out there, but he makes plenty of ground with the ball. Now here's Hatter. Foran. Out there to Edwards. Had a juggle. He's gone past one, Edwards. That's a good strong run. Now here's Foran. Hatter. Metcalf. And now they're away over on that side. And that's Hugo. And he's still going Reed Hugo. And heading towards the touchline, and they'll put him in the old boys' tent if they can. They'll put him tried to put him in the grandstand there. So Cessnock on the attack there, trying to put 2 tries on them in as many minutes, and Hugo's bundled into touch. Oh, and collared the bumper. Hello. He's got one round the head there, and he's a bit sore. I think it was Mark White jumping up to try and knock him over. An accident, but he's entitled to be a bit sore after that. It's bubbling away, Nick. It's bubbling away.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I think another try to Cessnock there has really put the wind back in the sails.
Yeah, that's right.
I think Bump will be ready to take this next hit up, though.
You reckon? Let's see. Let's have a look. Where is he? He's up there. No. It's the 16, Luke Mercer. Here's Bumper. There he is. Here they go with Walker and Harmer. Here's Cullen now, and he's going to use the ball. And Walker. And you've got Cullen, a back row, playing like a 5'8", and Walker, the 5'8", playing like a back row. You see, he was running sideways at the moment, but he's looking for a way through. And in the end, he didn't do too much. Walker's down in back play on his haunches. Pearson, he's going to kick. And that's nice onto the chest, fielded in goal from Williams. And Cessnock can come back.
Walker's only just joining the defensive line. He's back and set to go.
So it looks like he's going to stay on. Here's Woodbury. And Cullen got hold of him there. Cessnock moving up the field here. There's a bit in that tackle. There was really only one result there. You see it so often. I think Cullen might have been hard done by because he did seem to be stumbling forward, but the referee says penalty. Read about it in the paper tomorrow. And Cessnock are well placed here. Try here would be big, Nick.
Oh, absolutely. And that makes it a 2 4-point ball game.
So let's see if they can. Here's Stevens. And he's looked to Metcalf, but he goes to Halad instead. He doesn't mind a pop from close to the line either. And in the end, he's not far away and still twisting and scrapping with them. Here's Stevens. Foreign, they're building this side. Long ball over the top, and Woodbury, he can have a cup of tea and then put the ball down. He had acres there. Great ball from Liam Foreign. Looped it over the top. And Joe Woodbury, as I said, he could have had a cup of Earl Grey, swilled it around, drunk it down, and then put the ball down. And Cessnock are right back in this now at 24-20 with 10 minutes gone in the second half.
Oh, the second half has started very much like the first. The Goannas have come out firing.
Well, might have been one of those situations. Maybe Barney Miller threw a few teacups around in the dressing rooms. He
Had
couldn't
the
have
paint peeling off the walls.
something like that. He couldn't have been happy with how they finished the half. So maybe they've had a raz and reacted to it. It's great standing up here because you can hear all the invective from both sides on this side of the field. One bloke yells up, another bloke yells out, another bloke tells him to shut up. It's fantastic.
Oh, well, Mark White's just copped a gobful from the sideline, and I kept an eye on him, and he gave him a serve back.
Oh, good. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, getting the crowd in the game. It's what we like to see.
It's a novel way of going about it. Willie Hatter, his kicking's been not too bad today, but this is a difficult one. Over on the left-hand side. It's on its way. I think that might sneak over. Yeah, it has. 24-22, and suddenly the Cessnock contingent behind the benches over there starting to get a bit louder. They're vastly outnumbered, so they wouldn't want to gob off too much, but they're starting to make a bit of racket. 24-22, 29 minutes to go in the game. This is swinging and seesawing like nothing, and plenty of time for it to do a lot more. Ryan Walker's recovered sufficiently to take his third kick off of the second half. Here's Mark White, trying to teach the crowd a lesson. Good charge. He ran at CUC there and bumped up against him. Now they're away outside dummy half. That was a bit high on Stevens. And they're rolling forward here well. There's a bit in back play as Fatah comes forward. Cessnock have got a good roll on here. Here's Halad. Crowd starting to get involved on both sides here. Stevens gives it to Metcalf. He looks to pass. He does pass. Reed Hugo.
That's an easy 60 metres after scoring points. That's the perfect set.
Absolutely. Let's see what the kick's like for, and he's going to jab one in behind. And Woodbury's not bad in chasing these, and he might get a look in here, but there was a knock on there from Cook. There is no Cook. Scott Dunn is what I meant. But he knocked it on there, and then Walters bundled it into touch. And, well, that was the perfect set after points. Cessnock, they're going to end up with a scrum 20 metres out in the centre of the field.
You know, I think it's vital for the Kurri's confidence to keep the Goannas from scoring in this set.
Yeah, absolutely right. This they could end up stampeding them in the second half if they get another one here. We're only 12 and a half minutes into the second half, and from despair at half time, they're right back on it. Cessnock. Here's Foreign and Hatter and Metcalf. Ah, that's a good tackle. That's been the way to tackle a big bloke for 110 years of rugby league. That was a beauty. Ryan Walker it was. Now here's Williams. Just front on and dumped him. Down the short side. Metcalf's going to have another go. And this one's better. He's through. He's going to score. He has. He had one go, got knocked over, came back for more, and he's trampled over 3 defenders and scored on the right-hand side. And Cessnock, in the space of 12 and a half minutes, have gone back into the lead. 26-24 with a kick to come. What do you make of that, Nicholas? Big Metcalf storming his way through.
Oh, I mean, it is what it is, isn't it? I mean, it's just a big guy. He difficult to stop him anywhere on the park, let alone, within 10 metres, and he just found a gap and couldn't be stopped.
They really have got the roll on, haven't they? Really have got the roll on. Have done pretty much since the kickoff. They've been thundering into them.
To steal a line from Laurie Daly from his commentating days, I think Kurri will need to be next to score.
I was really hoping we wouldn't have to drag that one out today. But sure enough, you've done it. So it's
you
done
can't
now.
let the moment pass you by, can you?
No, apparently not. Now, I don't think this is Willie Hedder taking this kick. If it is, he's changed sides. Maybe he's... Oh, no, he hasn't. It's all right. It's all going to be okay.
You're right.
Well, he was on the other side. I thought he was going to take it left-footed. I don't think we're quite at that level yet. He's missed this one anyway.
David Warner switch hit.
Exactly right. I don't think, they're only 2 points in front. It's not time for the hello chick stuff just yet. 26-24 as the kick misses. 25 minutes to go. How well poised is this?
Score on the PRD nationwide scoreboard. Cessnock 26, Territory Bulldogs 24.
I think that might be Noah Easton who's getting ready on the sideline. He gave them a great deal of punch at the start of the game, and he might be just what they need to come back on. Here's Mark White again. It's the third time he's done this, and the third time he's bumped away from one. What a good charge again. And that was Terrence CUC, and I don't think he liked that much because he got bumped and pushed away. Now Alec Fatah. A bit of work in the tackle there from Gilmore, who's back on the field. Stevens, he's starting to snipe around the middle. There's some tired forwards he's aiming at. And Harmer was able to get him down there.
All very easy metres so far.
Absolutely. Metcalf. He threatened to spill that. And that just slowed his momentum down there. He was taken down. They go away to Halad. Woodbury wants the kick here because they're up on this side. And he's going to get it too because Foran's going to jam this down. And he's going to look for the line. 40-20 if it bends the right way, but it doesn't. Oh, hit a knock on though. It doesn't need to bend the right way. Cessnock are getting it back anyway. And there's a headbutt and a bit of stench. Hello. Edwards there with Manton. And I'm pretty confident that Manton threw a bit of a headbutt there. I don't know if the linesman or referee saw it. The lino's in. There's a lot of grappling and scrapping going on. But... Manton dropped the ball, must have copped a bit of stick, and he's coming for the headbutt. Is the referee going to call anyone out here? He is indeed. Foran's coming up. Oh, I think Foran invited himself into that conversation.
He just wanted to let him know his thoughts on the incident, I think.
That's all. I'm sure referee Stairs thanked him for his input. Now Edwards is coming over. The captain is actually not Foran, it's Fatah.
The shouts will get him off already.
Yeah, so Edwards won't be going off. Now, I'm not sure who headbutted who. It's a pen. Well, let's say that Edwards headbutted Manton. That's what the referee's seen anyway. Because Kurri, well, that's a massive turning point in the game, potentially. Because Kurri were about to have to face another set of defence, having let 3 tries in the first quarter hour of this game, and of this half, and now they're bringing the ball away from their own 40. So Cessnock, instead of being on the attack, are now on the defence. What a moment in the game. Here's Cullen. And that's Cronin back on the field. And Cessnock may live to rue that bit of feistiness. That's Wyborn. And Cronin's going to have another go at him here. So the kick from Pearson, you'd think. Oh no, he's going to run it a bit and then dribble it in. And very good hands from Williams. He's been very safe back there. He hasn't played fullback.
He's lost that one
so far this season, but it's come out and to tomatoes from the crowd. It's been given 6 to go.
Well, it looked like Foran, from an offside position, has knocked it back to his team.
Here's Fatah. So little moments in this game that are changing the momentum. That'll be Noah Easton taking it up. He's dumped. That's a much stronger tackle. They didn't hit him like that in the first half. Here's Orchard trying to get involved to help the cause. He gets sat down by Ryan Walker. Curry are lifting in defence here. And Stevens has to kick. He's going to aim for the touchline as well. But this one's going to go a bit too deep and probably go touching goal. Yeah, it has eventually. One last roll was all it had in it. And it just trickled one last drop onto the line. And so Curry got a 20 tap. I'm going to put you on the spot here. 21 and a half minutes to go. Cessnock 26, Curry 24. Who do you fancy to go on and grab it?
Oh, I mean, at this stage, you have to go with Cessnock, don't you? I mean, although to be fair to Curry, they haven't seen much of the football at all, so it'll be interesting to see what they can come up with in the next 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah,
well, thanks for that. I asked for your opinion. You've got splinters in your backside after that one.
Oh, Cessnock.
Okay, that's a good declarative answer. Here we go with Terrence CUCU up over halfway. And he's beaten one. He's beaten two. Cullen, well, he can do something from here. And now Walker, they're using the ball well, and if they can get it wide, they can do even more with it, but they can't. Wyborn's wrapped up. And Curry need to land a punch here. They've been on the ropes for the last 15 minutes. That's Cronin.
Well, he changed the dynamic of the first half, didn't he?
He's threatening to do it again. Terrence CUC's got far too much space, and Walters has picked it up. But now here's Edwards, and he's off down the touchline. And he's got support from Woodbury, and Woodbury's going to go for Cullen, and Cullen takes him down. 40 out, centre field. But they're a bit rattled at the back here, Curry. If Cessnock can get it wide, here's Easton. They're still getting back, Curry. They're pretty much in line now. Heta over to Hugo. But how it changes. Curry almost had them cut up over on the right-hand side. The pass went down, and from there's been trouble. Here's Orchard. And Cessnock are on a raid now. It's been defence to attack to defence to attack. Here's Heta. And he's going to dummy. And he's going to go himself. He's a bit too strong. He's got Halad for company. And Halad gets it down. I think. No, knock on.
Knock on.
Oh, knock on. Well, another moment. Another little moment where Cessnock, they could have punched out to an 8-point lead there. And instead, they've turned it over. But that was so close. The strength from Header tearing them apart.
Yeah, just a couple of little one-on-one tackles going missing from both teams now with 20 minutes to go. So we'll need to keep an eye on that.
Very open game, isn't it? It's like basketball at the moment. It's just end to end.
I think the fans are well and truly happy that they've got their $6 worth this afternoon.
I think you always get your $6 worth. I'd be happy to just pay $6 to get access to the sausage sandwiches. But anyway.
Oh, worth it.
Absolutely. Here they come with Lachlan Hill. And that was a strong tackle on him there. He gets up pretty well. But he's a bit sore in the head. As you can see, he holds his head as he gets up. And there's no shame in that because that was a pretty strong hit. Now CUCU and Walker. And they're bringing it forward here, Curry. Just trying to steady the game, you'd think. It's Cronin that time, didn't make as much ground. Now Pearson, he's got those fast feet. And he threw about 15 dummies in the space of 3 seconds there before going down. Now they go down the short and then back to the open. Pearson, Cullen, and Walker. They've got 4 players who can all play the ball like a halfback. And this bloke isn't even one of them. Here's Manton, and he's gone straight through. What a burst of pace. Chip and chase. He's going to get there first, is he? He doesn't get the bounce. He doesn't get the second bounce. And it goes over the dead ball line. Dear, oh dear, it's in for a dropout. But what a burst of pace from Manton. He lit them up there.
Oh, there's nothing like a bit of speed, is there?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Just as I look out I was going to say the window of the commentary box. It's really we've got a bit of an open plan situation here, but the blankets going around the Kurri team today are doing a wonderful thing. They've got the juniors going around the field with a blanket to collect money for the Children's Hospital as part of the Gold Week telethon. So there's plenty of people generously lobbing coins, gently lobbing coins, but generously into the blanket to make some money for the Children's Hospital. As here goes Foran. And it's a decent old kick, but very well handled over there. And Gilmore's going to bring it back. And that's Wyborn. He looked to pass that, but
You want to be running a bit harder than that.
yeah. He's Cronin. He's been running hard all day, but again, they wrap him up that time. As I said before, they've got 4 playmakers out there. They've got CU, Pearson, Walker, and Cullen. And now here's Manton. And there was no change of pace this time. And Pearson's got the ball. Over to Walker. He's got Cullen out the back if he wants him, but he doesn't need him. He just charges straight through them. And he's eventually dragged down by Metcalf. Now they go the side. Pearson with a little kick. He got absolutely flattened by Reid Hugo. Cessnock dive on the ball, but they've got a problem. And you can always tell that there's a problem when the opposition players call for the medic. And I think it's Orchard over there, Callum Orchard, who is in a little bit of trouble. And as I say, it's never a good sign when the opposition players call for the medics as soon as the tackle's made. Did you see what happened?
No. It just seemed like a bit run-of-the-mill sort of tackle, bit of a contest for the ball. But what my eyes had been drawn to, as you said, Reid Hugo's hit on Pearson.
Yeah, well, Pearson's up. He's all right. He got fair flattened when he put the kick in. And it was well dived on by Orchard because he only had to fumble it and Kurri might have scooped it up and scored. Cessnock are having a huddle here. Trying to keep themselves going. 16 minutes to go here. And we're getting into prize fight territory. 26-24, Cessnock in front. It's exactly what we thought and hoped it would be so far, isn't it?
Oh, exactly right. I mean, the momentum has swung, more times than you can count. And I think, Kurri have definitely gone against their form. I mean, they've only won the one game so far this season, and they're looking like they've looked like world beaters at stages this afternoon.
Yeah, both sides have looked top of the table and bottom of the table at various times today, haven't they? Now, Callum Orchard is sitting up, or he's been sat up by his trainers. One of the great things about rugby league now is that all the trainers, no matter what level they are all very qualified in these things and what to do. I think it might be a shoulder problem because they've sort of used his jumper as a bit of an auxiliary sling, but he's going to walk off the field himself. To a little bit of applause from his teammates. So he's not in too bad a way because he's walking off, but pat on the head from the coach. Cessnock have got the ball and they're starting again as Orchard heads for the tunnel. I hope he's okay. Here's Noah Easton. And this is Halad. And Pearson, he's one of the smallest blokes on the field, but hasn't shirked it in defence today. And he didn't miss him there.
Powerful shot there by Cronin.
Yeah, absolutely. JC is on the field. And he got fair belted there. Now here's Fatah, and he looks for the pass to Edwards, and they're going to gallop upfield here. And then a contender for the worst kick of the season, worst kick of the decade, ends up with Stevens. Metcalf to Metcalf here. They've still got it on here. If this leads to a try, it'll be an outrage. Dan Metcalf off down the wing. What's he doing out there? And finally, the ball goes down 10 metres out in the corner after a rather crazed passage of play.
I tell you what, that kick from Edwards there could be roughly compared to Brad Drew's line dropout effort.
2000. Yeah. That was a stinker. Off the outside of the boot. I don't know that he needed to kick it. He had 4 into his right. Now, we've got a bit of casualty ward here behind the line. The 14, Peter Cronin's down and walking back towards the line. But over on the far side, there's a bit of concern for somebody else. I can't tell who it is because he's on his back. And,
Looks like Mercer.
Yeah, it's Mercer, the 16. He actually came on as an injury replacement for Simon Craig, who, unsurprisingly, we haven't seen again because he didn't look well when he went off. But Mercer, there have been some injuries today. It's been a very hard, stinging game. Mercer's going to get up here, but I can't see him taking his part in the line. And I think Kurri are bringing on a replacement here. I think it might be Jay Stevens who's going to come on. Yeah, it is. And that's their 8th change. So they've got 15 minutes to go in the game. 26-24, Cessnock lead. And change number 8 for Kurri. And they'll start again here. That's Brock Harmer. And he cops a bit of treatment there. They've taken a few metres off him. And Lachlan Hill beat one. They're going to need their backs to do a bit of work here, Kurri. That's Gilmore. That's a good run. Oh, no, it's not Gilmore. It's still a good run. It's Cronin. Now Campton. And they're starting to roll on here. The forwards are getting involved. See, you said, Gilmore, you're next. Here he comes. And see, you screaming at them to back him up and do everything right here. Here's Pearson. Jams the kick down. It's going to go over Williams' head. He's going to have to chase. He's been pretty safe all day, apart from that one drop he had up the other end. But now he comes back with it. And there's a bit of a broken line, something to work with. And he's eventually slung the ground like a sheep there at the Pelican Sheep Station. He goes down. And now Metcalf. And you have to think in a game like this, a little thing could win it.
Oh, absolutely. But I think it's still very much in the balance. And I think, again, it'll just come down to who can hang on to the football the best. But both teams definitely throwing everything they've got at their opponents now with less than 15 to go.
Yeah. That had to be again. Oh, look out! There's another one there. Campton's thrown a bit of a high five at Willie Hedder's face there. But there was a lot of work in that tackle. It was Oliver Powell on the ground, and he usually you've got to go to a day spa to get a massage like that, right across the face.
Yeah, Campton's not usually one that you need to provoke too much.
No, he has of course played for both Cessnock and Kurri, and junior at Kurri, came to the dark side, went back again. Now, here they go with Luke Mercer, who's Luke Mercer, pardon me, that's Jai C, and he's on, and gives it back to Brendan Halad now, and Halad goes down, and they go across to the right to Foran, and Foran out to Heta, and Heta turns it inside to Metcalf, and now it's off to Foran and Easton exploits a bit of a gap made there by Powell. And this is a big set for Kurri. Cessnock can sink the slipper into them here. Over to the left, there's a bit of stink in there again. Bit of feeling in the game now. Here's Halad. They're set out to the right here. Foran and Heta, both to the right of the play the ball. And it's 4-2 Heta, and he saw Walker coming. Now he gets a kick in, and if Metcalf can field it, but Hill's going to get there, and he's going to knock it over the dead ball line. That was well done in the end from Hill. He would have been able to hear Metcalf coming, and if he couldn't hear him, he would have seen his shadow, because he's about 10 foot wide. But the ball gets bundled over the dead ball line, and Kurri can hold on again. 12 minutes to go here, 26-24. And from here, it could just be one punch that wins the game. Not literally, but...
Oh, well, there could be a bit of that too.
Well, it could be. What about the dropout?
I'm not sure that would win you the game, though.
Now, referee, what do you see there? Knock back. Oh, dear. Cullen has just absolutely belted Jai C. There was a suspicion of knock on, and then there was a suspicion of knock out.
I'm not sure there was too many arms in that tackle.
I don't think so. And now there's a bit of stink in it. And Cullen's in a bit of trouble here. I think he might have dislocated his finger. As here's Metcalf. Now the crowd are involved. Everybody's involved. Here's Powell over to Heta. Stevens gave it to Metcalf. He'll be hard to stop with a bit of momentum, but they do stop him. And what's more, they send him towards the touchline. Heta now. What can they come up with here, Cessnock? He's Foran, dummying. Out to Williams. Long ball to Woodbury. He's got space again, but he's spilt it with the line open. Well, he's put it down with the ball, with the line open. There was cover defence coming, but he could see the chalk and he had space to his left and the ball hit the deck.
Yeah, I think he was thinking about his celebration as opposed to just catching the football there.
Well, possibly. He's been pretty steady, a pretty steady finisher this season for Cessnock. He's had a good start to his career, but if they go down by a couple of points, they might rue that one. It's that sort of game. There's 10 minutes and 21 seconds to go here, and still Cessnock 26, Kurri 24. This is the longest we've gone without points in the game.
Well, it wouldn't be totally outrageous, you know, considering how the game's gone, to see Kurri march 90 metres and score on the score here.
It's been that sort of game that, the scrum, the modern scrum, it's a farce.
I'll get rid of it.
Just
get rid of it.
Now, CUC, having unsuccessfully fed that scrum, has decided to give up and pack in at lock. And away come Kurri. And it's the bloke that I keep trying to call Cook, who is actually Scott Dunn. He goes down there. And this is Jay Stevens back onto the field after that injury to Mercer. Curry's forwards need a lift here. They might just feel like bringing on the bumper for the last 5 or 10 minutes. He's on the bench there. He hasn't had many minutes today.
Well, you could certainly do worse.
Yeah. It'd be just like him to lift the crowd here in the last few minutes. They go to Cullen. And nothing is ever as it seems with Cullen, but he took that one up. And now it's out the back to Walker. And Walker's going to get a kick on this. It's pretty gentle. Over there onto the right-hand side. And it's brought back, I think that might be Brett Stevens over there in the 9, who's dropped back to play on the wing. So another reshuffle here for Cessnock as Mark White's back onto the field. And just as Bumper can lift Kurri, Mark White can lift Cessnock. He's been running. He's just been steaming in every time he's got the ball. Now here's Halad.
Yeah, I think Tony Williams could learn a thing or two from some of these blokes.
Absolutely. You see, talking of bench players, I don't think we've seen 17 Jaden Brown today. I'm prepared to be corrected on that, but I don't think he's been on yet. And I think he's the only sub that hasn't been used. That's Noah Easton. And they're 40 out. Last tackle. Heta. Just dinks it in. That might be out on the full now. It pitches, and it's difficult for Hill here. But he does well, and he nearly broke them open. To plenty of encouragement from the tin shed. Now here's Manton, and I reckon that if Kurri are going to come up with something here, I reckon Manton's got to be at the centre of it because he's got plenty of pace, as we saw when he nearly set up a try earlier in the half. Now here's Scott Dunn, and he shoves his head into the ground. Does Metcalf. It's getting a bit of niggle in it. Now here's Cullen, and Cullen's nearly through. Something nearly happening with every play here. CU's looking for Campton here, goes himself. And he stood still looking at the referee as if to say, well, come on, how about the shoulder charge? And now he's abusing the linesman. You'd reckon playing against these big blokes, you'd just watch the opposition, wouldn't you? Now they go with Walker, and Walker goes himself. Looking to throw it. He does. Pearson's hands are sensational, and they're off down the left with Hill. And a shonky kick back inside is taken by Metcalf, of all people. And he's close to the touchline, but not as close as the people on this side of the ground think. And now Sean Metcalf takes it forward. 7 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Cessnock 26, Kurri 24. You get into the stage now where the next try might win it. Woodbury. Hasn't it been a game so far? And you cannot help but feel there's still plenty of drama left in it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's still about 7 minutes to go. Plenty can happen.
Now, this is Brett Stevens scampering out. He's been very good out of there today. He's turned them around a few times. He's foreign, and he'll throw it out the back to Fatah. He's got Edwards with him. He sticks it on the boot. It's not a very tactical kick when you're in front by 2 with 5 minutes to go.
Well, I think his kicking licence has just been revoked.
It's been revoked, Dave Taylor style.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might well be the case. I don't know if that was the plan, but didn't really come off. It gave Kurri the ball back pretty gently there. Here's Manton. 6 minutes. And the racket coming from the hillside, well, not really the hillside, the railway sleeper side, is really starting to warm up. It's a growl now. Here's Cullen. And he was prone into that tackle. And White grabbed him. And he's working him over a bit here. Big chance of a penalty. Yep, never in doubt. And Cullen should refrain from acting on instinct and throwing the ball at him because Kurri have got a good chance to set up here. Mark White, a bit of rush of blood there. He didn't need to do that. That set wasn't really doing a lot for Kurri, but now it will. Any change to the tip? 5.5 to go.
No, I get the feeling that Cessnock just on top, even still.
All right. That's why you're the expert and I'm the dill call in the game. Here's CU. Harmer. It's been strong today. Here's CU again. And Gilmore. And there's about 1,000 experts on this side of the ground, all giving it some. All telling them what they should be doing. The Kurri players, the Cessnock players, the referees, the linesmen, they're all getting advice.
My favourite bit of advice so far this half has been run the ball yourself, you big galoot.
It's big galoot. Here's Cullen. They go to the left. CU's looking for something to start here. He gets it away. Here's Walker. This might be it. The flick out the back is a shocker, and Cessnock are going to fall on it. Was there a knock on? 3/4 of the crowd think yes, a quarter think no, and the quarter are in the right. And here goes Metcalf. And he spilled that one. There's no doubt this time Kurri will get another chance. 4.5 minutes to go.
Second tackle coming out from your own end. That's schoolboy stuff.
Well, Metcalf, he's done a lot of good things today, but that one won't be going in the show reel. Barney Miller's up off the bench, on the sideline clapping, trying to encourage his lads here. He knows this is very important for them. If they drop points here today, Lakes and West can get the jump on them. Whereas Kurri, if they drop points here today, they're starting to get into that position where they're not too far away, but a couple more losses and they can start booking holidays for September. So there's plenty at stake here, even without the derby factor. Now here's Pearson. And he's threatened to break through all day and hasn't quite done it. Manton's into dummy half. He's another one who's threatened plenty of times. But he needs a better position than that. Centre field, over to Pearson. And here's Wyborn. And Wyborn's beat one. They're within range now. They're inside the 10. Pearson. Walker. Manton. Stop. Start. Off they go. Here's Stevens. He's in the corner and he's held up. He's not into touch. He's held up. And he's going to have to play it. The slowest play the ball in the 21st century by a long way. What's happening here? They wouldn't give him the ball. Now it's come out. Common sense prevails. He's just going to have to play it. Could have been a penalty. Could have been a knock on there.
Yeah, that's great refereeing there.
Yep, common sense wins. Now, CU out the back. Here's Walker and Harmer. And Harmer from a standing start. That made life a bit difficult for him. They set up both sides here. I reckon Cullen might be the man here. Here he goes. He steps, but he's taken pretty comfortably. A bit of a Christmas hold there. They've got him set out. They've got Pearson on the right. They've got Walker on the left. CU turns it back inside to Campton, who'd love to score today.
Great one-on-one tackle.
Was indeed. It was Mark White. Now here's Walker. They look likely here. There's a knock on. They'll get another go. Willie Hatter. He had good enough reflexes to get down to that kick, but he didn't have good enough reflexes to catch it cleanly. And Kurri, with 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go, can raid again. And we're in the championship rounds now, Nicholas.
Oh, absolutely. I think, Kurri definitely need to score while they've got the ball. That seems like an obvious comment, doesn't it?
Arguably. I reckon Lakes and West a couple of weeks ago was the best game of the season so far. This is up there with it at least. And the next couple of minutes might put it over the top. 2 minutes exactly on the clock. I love an electric scoreboard. It makes things so much clearer, although if there wasn't one, the nerves would be even greater when you don't know when the whistle's going to go. Here they come. Cullen out to Pearson. They're set up for it. This might be the play. Pearson beat a couple there. He threatened again. They're set out to the right. There was a shove there. Very slow play the ball. Referee says get up. Now it goes across to Wyborn. And Wyborn's down. And they're looking out the back to Pearson. Here's the big backline move. Walker looking, holding, going himself. Probably wasn't what they needed. Now Cullen, great hands to keep it going. And he's with them. And he might go over and score. Has he? The crowd think he might have done. The referee says knock on. The referee says knock on against Mitch Cullen. It's no try. It's a 20-metre tap to Cessnock with 1 minute and 15 to go.
Well, it was very difficult from this position to see what happened there. There's just players everywhere, but the touchy had to make a call.
Yeah, he certainly did. If this was the year of the video referee, we would be resolving this issue in about 3 months. But there's no video referees in the real NRL, so that will be debated for years as to whether he knocked it on or whether he didn't. Maybe in Bar TV he'll be called upon to adjudicate that later on. But for all it really matters, it's a knock on and Cessnock's ball. 40 seconds to go here, 26-24.
A bit of gamesmanship.
Yeah. It really drives you mad when you're following the opposition team, doesn't it? The players start doing this. It's all right when you're in the ascendancy, but this has been a real slugfest. 30 seconds left. Now it's nearly a slugfest for real. Why would you try and do something like that when you've got the ball in front? Now there's a penalty to Cessnock, is there? Or a knock on? Hang on, what's happened here? What's he blown? There's no arm gesture. He's called a penalty to Cessnock. 15 seconds, 10 seconds. I think it's all over. It's a penalty to Cessnock here, and they're already patting each other on the back because time is up. Time is up here. There goes the siren. Cessnock will have to tap this and kick it out. Header's got it. He launches it into the Sattler stand. And Cessnock, there's a great volley up there in the crowd, who's launched it back onto the field again. But Cessnock have got the chocolates today in a cracker of a game. It swung and undulated. They looked gone in the second half, at the start of the second half, but they came back, stormed all over them in the second half, and held on to win it with some very stout defence at the end. Cessnock 26, Kurri 24 in a cracker of a derby. Nick, your thoughts on your man of the match?
Well, it was a very entertaining match, wasn't it? But I think it's a big effort in the second 40 on behalf of the Goannas to keep Kurri scoreless for the final 40 minutes. In terms of man of the match, I mean, I guess you'd have to say, you know, Brendan Ladd was just everywhere, wasn't he?
Yeah, he got through a lot of work. He'd definitely be a candidate. Sean Metcalf caused a lot of trouble. Even for Kurri, Tyrone Pearson was very good. Ryan Walker was very good. A couple of their forwards made a big impact as well. It was just a terrific game, and Cessnock, in the end, have just got it on the back of holding onto the ball a bit better and getting the momentum and then fending off the late attack. So it's Cessnock 26, Kurri 24 to finish it off here on Bar TV. Thank you as always for your for viewing. Thank you, Nicholas, for your guest in here today on an injury waiver. It's been much appreciated. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. And until next week, or the week after, thank you very much for watching. This is Bar TV.
Real guys, real sport. Bar TV.
Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you're watching your favourite sports, like football,
Swimming, basketball,
Netball,
and athletics,
you'll see this logo.
it's all about coming together to have a positive influence on our drinking culture.
We're strong enough to say enough.
and you can be too.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.